Maddie from Hello Interloper here with the latest in Blood Brothers news. This video is going to be about this Siege tourney event, which sounds fancy, but unfortunately it's just a reincarnation of the World Battle Coliseum event. Sorry to everybody who thought that this was going to be something new and exciting, but of course if you do like the World Battle Coliseum, I guess it is a little bit exciting to see this return. So, the Siege tourney, of course, is World Battle Coliseum, just with a new name. So, amazingly, not much has changed, which is kind of a good thing because the past few World Battle Coliseums have just been a brand new thing every time. We've seen it go from 5 different teams to 2 teams to different areas to only 3 areas, so we've seen a lot. Thankfully, now they've streamlined this event enough to finally have some consistency. And we see this in this event because there are, once again, 2 strong bases, yours and the enemy, one or the other. Can't really see it in this image, but then of course there is the bridge. And if you remember correctly, in the last World Battle Coliseum, the bridge was extremely important, and the reason behind this was if you had the bridge, you had a defense boost. If the opposite team had the bridge, they get a defense boost, and pretty much you got decimated whenever you tried to attack them, which was really disappointing. You would be attacking the other keep, all of a sudden they get the bridge, and you start losing all your battles. It was rather disappointing. But now they have changed that. There are no defense boosts in this event, thank goodness. And the bridge now has a chance to trigger a might boost, which just boosts the might of your team. It only lasts for a short time and makes it much easier to capture the enemy keep. So the bridge is still important. It just doesn't give you a horrible defense boost, which completely messes you up when the opposite team has it. And of course there are elites. And if you watched my previous video about the 15 million download campaign, you will know that by getting a certain tier of pact, I believe it's tier 3, you get a Peluda for free. So the 2 different elites are Khan, Lizardman, Diviner, and Peluda, and its evolutions. So very early on, just from point rewards, you will get about, I'm pretty sure it's 3 Khan, Lizardman, Diviners. So I will open up Khan right now and show you a little bit about this guy. Of course, you can get him from points, and you can get him from the Grave of Heroes, from event coins. But the boost that he gives is 1.5 for the smallest evolution, up to 1.5 again, which is a little bit unfortunate. You would think that they would give a little bit of a better boost when it's fully evolved. So this is kind of irrelevant. Up to 1 point time might power 1.5. That's not that special. But anyway, so he has Windlash, which we have seen before. Windlash is actually seen in Pollux, in a Fencer, which of course is just a plain sort of guy, but deals agi base damage to multiple foes. It's actually 3 foes to be exact, but it's a 100% agi multiplier, which means that it does 100%, or the whole amount of agility that this guy has. Can't explain it very well, but I can show you guys. Unfortunately, the perfect evolution stats are not up, but when it's fully maxed, it has 6,240. So if you times that by 1.5, that is the amount of damage it does to each foe, and then of course that times 3, that's the total amount of damage, and yeah, you kind of get the point. So then the other one is Peluda. Peluda you can get from, of course, the paid pacts, or you could get it from the event coins that you get from just participating. Peluda is rather interesting because it kind of looks like a snake yeti, but it also kind of looks like a legendary. I can actually look up that one. I think it's like a chained white worm or something. I can find it. Shackled white worm. There we go. I was right. Kind of looks like a baby version of this legendary, which is kind of interesting. And why is it not going back? There we go. So it has Flame Rasp, which is a new skill. It's a wisdom-based skill, which is a 130% multiplier, deals heavy damage to 3 foes. So it's kind of like Wind Lash, but with wisdom. And if we see the final evolution here, the perfect evolution stats thankfully are here. So it has 11,921 wisdom. If we take into account that the might can go up times 10 and power go up times 3, that's pretty amazing. That's a lot of power. So more like 33,000. Oops, wrong one. Damage, and then times 3 because it goes to 3 different enemies. Pretty scary. So anyway, that's enough about the elites. Let's continue on. There are, of course, daily rewards, which the first place team gets. Day 1, first place gets 2. Day 2, first place gets 2. And it's actually pretty much the same every single day, although the farther you go in days, the more ranks get 1. And of course you get a Sanguine Shade and Silver Coin times 5. And then the second place team, only the first place person gets Backless Poacher. So Backless Poacher kind of looks like he's a snake, but he's not really. He's actually just a Darklander in a snake lizard outfit. So he has Triple Strike, which we've seen before. It's the same one that the White Knight has, Sita War Princess, Ninja Apprentice, all these little guys here. So it's 100% attack multiplier, attack one foe, dealing 100% attack base damage along with both adjacent familiars. And it hits one foe, of course. So we've kind of seen that all before. But rather interesting stats. We got high attack, even higher agility, extremely low wisdom and defense. So I guess that whole Viper armor isn't actually that useful, because that's quite a low defense. I guess it's mostly just for looks, but rather low HP as well. We really see a lot of agility and attack. So I guess it would be pretty good in an attack lineup or agility lineup. Just have to watch out because it has a very low defense. Now back to the page and rewards. There is a new legendary called Gretch Chimera Mistress, and she is riding a giant chimera, which is pretty cool. And it's funny because the chimera's heads each have a set of armor, except for the snake tail. The snake tail doesn't wear armor, which is kind of sad. What happens if it gets hit? But the perfect evolution stats are up, which is great. And we can see here, she has a very high HP. Next is attack. Oh, actually, no, sorry. Next is wisdom, then attack, then agility, with a rather low defense for a legendary. And she has Spark Shot, which is exclusive to her. It's a new ability. It deals attack-based damage to 4 random foes, and it's an 80% attack multiplier, which is rather weak, to be honest. If we even look up Berserk, for instance, we can see the difference. Berserk is an 80% attack multiplier as well, but it deals damage to 6 random targets. So really all it is, it's a bit of a dulled down Berserk. Same attack modifier, but 2 less attacks. So all in all, not very impressed with this ability. However, her stats are pretty nice. Nothing amazing, however. So overall, I wouldn't exactly gauge this as a really good legendary, at least in my own opinion. So then finally, the rare familiar that you get from points and from ranking. Up to rank 40,000 get at least 1, and 400,000 points gets you Alo, I believe, Stormwind. So Alo the Stormwind is actually a harpy, and just a very fancy looking harpy at that, with a staff being held in its feet because harpies don't have hands, they have wings. And she has a skill called Revitalize, which is just a heal sort of spell. It's a 45% wisdom modifier. It heals all allies, however, which is rather interesting. So 45% of her wisdom, when fully evolved and perfect evolution, is 14,000. So 45% of that, which is about half. So heals for about 7,000 each. Not very bad. And if we look at her design, she seems very tribal, although, you know, you already look enough like a bird, why do you need a bird mask? But instead of a staff, she's carrying a pretty badass scythe. Scythe, I don't know where that came from. And also, she has pretty fancy tail feathers, and of course, different color wings, which is nice. So, she's a healer, and she has also very high agility, which is good because you can heal at the beginning of a round, and generally, you know, if there was some kind of really quick attack from a high agility guy, you can quickly heal up before your other guys attack or whatnot. Very low defense, though. It seems to be a common trend with these guys. Not exactly the best defense ever. But in general, that's all you really need to know about the Siege Tourney. There really hasn't been anything that has been added. Although one thing to kind of take into account is the fact that might and power are not the same. Power is the stats, while might is the amount of points that are gained when you attack an enemy or defend against an enemy. So those are the points that help you take control of the area that you're actually fighting for. The power is the amount of stats that are multiplied. And then there seems to be a new kind of I don't know if this is new, but there's a domino conquer bonus, which I believe is a bonus multiplier based on how many places you conquer in a row, something like that. But either way, they're the usual multiplier bonuses. You get just the might bonus, the MVP bonus at the end when you're done with the area. When it's taken over or you lose it, you will get a multiplier based on whether or not you're MVP. I'm not sure if there's a junior MVP one. But generally put, it seems that they know what they're doing, what direction they're going with this event. So hopefully in the next one we won't see such a crazy break that we've seen with the past few ones where they just changed everything like crazy. Seems like this is very, very similar to the past one. So anyway, good luck to everybody. Remember, this is not an event ally event, so you don't have to worry about your allies or anything. Just more your team. Best you can do is try to motivate them because there is a team board that you can speak on, but from my experience, a lot of people don't really use that. Just basically take over the bridge if you can and attack the opposite team, or defend if you're getting absolutely crushed. But it's rather straightforward. So anyway, good luck everybody. Hope you get good stuff from your event coins, and until next time.